Welcome back to another episode of Playing Every Golf Course in Essex. And today we're at Golf World Stansted in, Stansted. Now, before we kick off the golf, you already know the tradition by now. We had to check out the breakfast. And although I meant to be watching what I eat, I simply couldn't resist. All for under a tenner, and I have to say this is one that is going straight into my top 5 fry-ups of the entire series so far. Once that was well and truly demolished, we headed over to the driving range, and honestly, this is easily one of the best ranges attached to a golf club that we've seen on this journey so far. Toptracer bays, comfy seating areas, even upstairs bays, you can immediately see why it's so popular. Now, Golf World Stansted, formerly known as Elsenham Golf Club, is a 9-hole pay-and-play course, but it comes with a few quirks that are definitely worth explaining. As a single loop of 9 holes, it measures around 2,894 yards from the very back tees and plays as a par 35. But if you do fancy going around twice to make it a full 18-hole experience, things get interesting. 6 of the tee positions change completely the second time round, stretching the course to 3,029 yards. Yes, you're playing into the same greens, but from very, very different positions. The biggest change is the first hole, what starts as a 325-yard par 4, which then becomes a 192-yard par 3. And then the ninth flips from a 400-yard par 4 into a 485-yard par 5. Look, only holes 4, 5 and 6 play exactly the same both times round, which genuinely keeps things fresh. Now, given the setup here, the driving range, the crazy golf, it'd be easy to assume this course itself is more aimed at beginners. But honestly, I couldn't be more wrong. This course has plenty of bites, tight tee shots, tricky approaches, and the greens that can make a fool of you very, very quickly. Which brings me on to the condition here, because I thought it was actually very, very good. The tee boxes were relatively flat and extremely playable for this time of year, and there was no temp tee boxes either. Fairways were holding up really well, and despite the recent rain, there was no plugging at all, which was a massive positive. Look, the greens look great too, but they were the real defence here. They're not the biggest you'll ever play, but the slopes and subtle breaks make them some of the toughest I've come across. The fact I opened up the round with a 4-putt and my dad de-greened one shortly after probably tells you everything you need to know. Layout-wise, aside from the changing tee positions, I thought it was a really solid course with plenty of strong holes. The par 5, 5th/14th felt like the main birdie opportunity here, but the standout for me was definitely the 7th/16th, a cracking par 3 over water with Heathland Features guarding the green. Now let's talk value, because this is where Golf World Stansted really shines in my opinion. Midweek, 18 holes will cost you around £19, and at a weekend it's £22. For the challenge, the condition and the flexibility of pay and play set up here, that is seriously good value for anyone's money. As for my round, I shot a 78, which was 8 over, and after being 6 over through the first 6 holes, that was a decent recovery in the end. But look, that is episode 48 done. Have you played Golf World Stansted before? Where should I head to next? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you soon.